good evening, bats and wolves, because those are two things Dracula can turn into. And welcome to another Dractastic episode of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name is Philip, and I am the Dreadmaster, and surrounding me are some, but not all, of our players. Say, good evening, players.
Good
evening,
players.
Wonderful. We are down a few people this week. I thought we were maybe going to be down some more. There's stuff. We're going to do a game for you tonight. I will say at the top of this might be a slightly shorter one, but it will still have all the chaos that this game has been bringing to you for the past few weeks as we have entered our vampire era. We're on the Vampire Eras tour, and what that means is our reputation's never been. Is that one of her? Is that does she sing the Reputation song?
I think Reputation is the song.
Is that one? Is that she sings?
Or is that an album?
I'm genuinely. You're joking. I'm asking. Is that her? Or is that?
No,
her?
I'm not joking. Like, I don't know if that's a song or an album. I like her, but I'm not like a Swiftie.
You need Dan here for this question.
That's true.
You're the wrong people.
What's the one where it's like my reputation's
Taylor
never been worse? Is that her? Or is that somebody else?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we clearly know a lot
Answer
about
questions about Taylor Momsen.
Taylor Momsen. From
Yes.
you mean Cindy Lou Who?
Yes, who then grew up to be the front woman of a rock band who likes lots of satanic imagery. She's
I love that.
my speed.
Very good. So,
The orgy song is very good.
The orgy song? We need that for this game, apparently. That's it's the national anthem of Voluptua. All right. So, that really got Lauren somehow. Kind of surprised. I thought that would have
Literally, the song is literally called Going to Hell.
Perfect. Well, speaking of going to hell, the dread clock sits at the hour of 11. Only 2 hours until the stroke of 13. And fun times. So the storms are raging. Since we have started our vampire era, we have shifted the way the sort of format of the game works, and what we're doing is we are cutting between various different threads in different ways. It is cross-system, cross-platform fun, as we have characters who utilize totally different dice situations, interacting and having to figure out how that functions. We have been following a few different threads, but the main sort of big picture stuff that has happened is that after Alvin Theodore wished to use his miracle to break the mists, things have shifted. The Dreadlands can be passed through kind of at will, though there's many dangers still residing in the formerly separated and segmented and sequestered regions. We've been following.
Would you say they're through dangers untold and hardships unnumbered?
I can, but I don't know what that sounds familiar. What is that?
Continue.
Just Googling real quick.
I hear it in my head, but I don't know what it is.
I might even have it wrong. That's why
No, you have it right. It's appropriate.
Okay.
It's
I was
very
pretty
appropriate.
sure I had
It's very
it right.
appropriate for this weekend. So the point being, Darkmoor College has become a real focal point of energy. Medina Lake has come there, and she has granted the ability of summoning, or she has kind of kickstarted the ability to summon characters from fiction. This has progressed for a while as Medina has been embroiled with mistwalkers and other students, and all sorts of horrors have been visited upon them. But things took a major turn when yet another fictional character arrived, Count Dracula, one who seems to hold incredible sway, not only over Darkmoor, but over all vampires, for whom he has called out to come to him at Darkmoor, to come and follow him. Interestingly, Count Dracula may not be a fictional character in the way the others are, the ones who have been summoned have been. Many things will be revealed over that, but we have entered a very sort of mosaic kind of fractured storytelling thing, where we are just fixating on many different characters who disappeared. We have seen the return of Sarah Quill and Etienne Rene and Francis Brannigan. We've seen the return of the vampires of Oksana, Darius, Buster, Dr. Anders Anderson, and, until recently, Cormorant Steele. We have seen the return of Kimberly Lisa Thiessen of Voluptua, formerly of Voluptua, now of a place that they're calling Fuck Cottage. We have seen the return of... who else have we seen the return of? There's one other we saw the return of. Oh, we've seen the return of Hattie Ford, who has kind of met up with Alvin Theodore, now in stone form himself, while bearing a sword containing the soul of the Soldier of Fortune. We've met up with a lot of people in these past few weeks. We also introduced ourselves to a new set of people, a crew making a reality program for WDRD, a camera operator, a sound operator, a producer, and a PA. So there are a lot of places to look, a lot of individuals to find here across these plains, or across this now singular sort of Dreadland. Where we'll go tonight, I am torn between wanting to sort of tailor this to the people we have present, and also sort of go to logical stories. So it is possible that characters run by Dan and Zane might show up tonight. I really don't like to kill people when they're not here. I think that's kind of unsporting, but I have done it a few times. Like Liv, we did kill Julie at the oubliette when you were not present.
True.
So it is possible.
Have we killed any of Dan's characters when he's not around?
No, but he's so good at killing them himself when he is that like we don't need to.
Yeah, but then we can cheat him of the experience.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it is it's possible we might check in with Sarah Quill and Francis Brannigan, and Francis will just be sort of silent. It is hard to talk with that keg around his neck. But before we do any of that, I need to read tonight's invocation. The invocation for chapter 109 of Blood from a Stone, A Tale of Love and Dread in RPG. And if I were your lover, Miss Murray, how would you expect me to make love to you? The Count asked, one eyebrow raised in a high, devilish arch. I faltered, unsure of how to respond. The question was, of course, far outside any bounds of good propriety, and yet I could perhaps excuse a faux pas on behalf of His Excellency. Despite his good breeding and aristocratic demeanor, he did hail from a land more rugged and wild than my own. Even so, one would think that, in the wilds of the Borgo Pass, one must have a bit more decorum than to ask such a question so directly. If you were my lover, Count Dracula, I would expect you to already know the answer, I replied. The Count threw back his head and laughed, something all at once gay and wicked, as he relished my words. Well spoken, Miss Murray. Well spoken indeed. Liv, could you please roll a d13?
Comes out of its cage.
If you roll a 13, it's just further madness.
Don't do it.
I rolled a 10.
A 10. Excellent.
We're
All
gonna
right.
live.
10 will be the 3. Lauren, could you also roll it for me?
No.
I'm sorry.
Also, I got this from Michael's, and
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's
I didn't
over
realize that
like-
Michael's sold dedicated dice rolling trays.
exactly. Well, I mean, you know.
I think it's just a fake book.
I know it is.
Oh no, that's a 2. I don't know if that's good or bad.
2. Okay.
Not a 13.
But it's immortal love.
It is Immortal Love. That should almost have, because you're reading a book called Immortal Love, I should almost set back the Dreadclaw.
I think
Oh,
I
no.
think it's good.
Nah.
I bought it specifically for this game. God damn it!
That is true. And it looks great. All
Are
right.
those dice specifically for Oksana as well?
No, they're actually ones that Philip got me for my birthday last year. He didn't get me any this year.
See, Philip, look how sweet.
Did I give you any birthday present this year, or just well wishes?
I don't remember, but I'm gonna say no. No, you didn't, and you owe me a present.
I didn't get a birthday present this year or last year.
You know what? Actually, yeah, I'm sorry about that, Liv. I don't know that I have your birthday jotted down in my calendar. I apologize.
It's okay. I was very depressed on my birthday and was kind of ignoring it, so.
Here's the other thing,
Get a
guys.
pass.
I know this isn't what we're talking about, and multiple players have
Nobody
requested a
got
short
any.
game tonight, but we do need to talk about the
Birthday present.
like the birthday arms race, which is like as soon as someone gives me a birthday present, I'm like, shit, now I have to give them birthday present. It's like you shift into this. I also believe, Lauren, that might have been a multiple present gift. That might have been for more than one thing. That gift might have been. Like,
for graduating college.
Yeah, that was
because it took. Yeah. I'm not going to say how long, but
hey, it is.
Oh, it just means that you're 23.
You finished the race. Yeah, you're at 23 or
well, Lauren.
Zane is gross, is what it means.
Yeah.
Zane's a very gross person. But enough about how gross Zane is. Let's talk about what we'll be doing here.
For the record, our age difference is very appropriate. I'm old.
Liv.
Yes.
This is going to be kicking something at you that is, I actually like this because I'm going to be taking this in a, I'm going to be doing this in kind of an odd direction.
Oh boy.
Because even though there is a much more appropriate person to be bringing in, that's kind of not what the dice suggested. But this is a character who I think you've only played once, maybe twice. And so I hope that you can get back into the mind of this person.
Okay.
But you have, back in those days, when we were in Castle Caliginoira, there was a sort of a medium spirit, perhaps she wasn't a full spirit medium, but she was a follower of the occult. Her name was Emma.
Okay. Yes.
Is this a character that you think is as the to put it into James Lipton inside the actor studio? Is Emma with us tonight? Is Emma?
Emma can be with us.
Emma can be with us. I'm also going to say that Emma maybe is not going to be the first person. I'm just sort of going to ask you to go back to Emma. Oh yeah, that's right. She was a cult leader. That's right. Yeah.
Oh yes, now I remember what it is she worshipped too. Oh, that was fun.
We're going to be bringing her. We're going to be bringing her back. We're going to be focusing on her. Lauren, we're going to be bringing in one of your characters as well, based on what you've rolled.
Oh God.
Let me actually look at your sheet real quick. Wait, why isn't she on here? I thought she was on here. Well, we'll figure it out regardless. Yeah, why don't you have... Okay, well, you know what, it's fine. We'll figure it out. But we are actually going to be sort of, Lauren, do you have a sheet for Vela? You're muted.
Sorry, I've got a lot going on. I think she was just flat rolls, but let me double check.
Understood.
I request Dr. Faust Templeton be brought back to life.
And I shall be the corpse of Dr. Faust Templeton. Tell you what, roll a d20 for me, Moses.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's 14 or higher, it will mean something else, but...
I got an 18.
An 18. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Okay, Lauren, no problem.
I don't have one.
Guys, no problem at all.
We're gonna spreadsheet.
I am gonna have to... I know this is like... Well, actually, I'll even put this to you. Would you rather I spreadsheet real quick, or would you rather be a different character?
No, I love Vela.
Okay, cool. I'll just do a Vela real quick.
Oh, you haven't met her.
Okay. I was like,
and I'm just gonna move Vela up here. Vela was... Yeah, that's right. Vela was a thing. So, I'll tell you what you may do for tonight's game, Lauren. Because she's a mannequin.
She is. Her accent might be a little familiar to those who watch on Tuesdays.
There you go.
This is so perfect. Although she's a mannequin made of plastic, yes.
No, she will be more... She's like... Whatever.
Like plaster, no?
I think it's plaster. She's whatever they would have been using in like the 40s. Or the 30s. Lauren, if you would, you have a Vela sheet here. You can... no, you know what? We're doing this. Lauren, grab some D6s. Do you have 3 D6s? This is supposed to be a short game. Instead, we're fully building a character right now.
Let's do it.
Now, so
I knew as soon as you said it's gonna be a short game, I was like, that's a lie. That's a lie.
That being said, I am going to shift things up for Miss Vela in one way. Vela,
Oh, I got them. Yes.
rather than having you roll for all of your stats, all 6, I'm going to let 3 of your stats stay at 10. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So 3 of your stats are just going to be flat. The others, if you roll higher than 10, congratulations, you're better. If you roll lower, you're worse. Which 3 of the... This is the traditional 5e D&D. Which 3 would you like to be... which 3 would you like to be set at 10? And which ones do you want to risk? Or would you like me to decide for you?
I would, where's her sheet?
It's just Vela. It's right after Royal Agent here. Oh, sorry. I'll move her over further.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Gonna move her
Okay.
over further. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I want you to decide.
Okay, great. Lauren, could you roll 3d6?
Yes. Ooh, a 5, a 5, and a 3.
5, a 5, and a 3.
13.
That's 13. That counts for this. Lauren, could you please do me the great honor of rolling a d13?
Philip, I'm having a hard day. You can't be mean to me.
I'm not being mean. I'm being nice.
11.
Wonderful. Perfect. Okay. Could you roll again?
A 13 or the 3d6?
No, the 3d6.
11.
11. Great.
Not bad.
And give me one more.
Okay. Watch, this one's going to be super low. Yeah. 9, 12.
12. Congratulations. All right,
you.
and based on what you have here, I'm going to up your dexterity to 14. I'm going to up your charisma also to 14. Boom, that is your character. So you have 10 strength, 14 dexterity, 11 con, 10 int, 10 wisdom, 14 charisma. That's actually,
Nice.
for these level 0 characters, that's pretty good. You may select one saving throw to give yourself proficiency in, and you can select 2 skills. And that is all
Okay.
we'll be doing. Actually, no, select 4 skills.
Thank
There
you.
you go. And as you sort of do that, as we move over, so we have Vela, we have Emma. But, and honestly, I should have been creating a new character for Moses, since he is the person. If anything, I should have just not made a new character for Lauren, since she has 9, and I should have made a new character for Moses, since he only has 2. Moses, based on what you rolled, I would do that, but I'll throw this out there. If you would like a new character right now, I would do that. If you want to quickly build a new character, we could do that.
If not, who would I play?
What you have rolled to play is you're going to be being Darius Calmblood. You're going to be your vampire. But if you'd like to be someone new and leave that for when Zane is here, and the two of you can be going through that tunnel below together.
I'll make a new character.
New character. You know what, guys? I know that we said this is maybe this game's going to be a real short scene after new characters are created and reintroduced.
I only got 2 characters. So.
Do me a favor. Go ahead and roll a d13. You don't have a d13. Roll your d20. If it's over 14, re-roll. No, you know what? I'll even take that back. There are certain ones I'm going to veto. Well, go ahead and roll it, but there's certain ones I might veto.
Wait, I rolled a 13.
You rolled a 13. Okay, so
Yeah.
first of all, a dread storm begins. Guys, we're at a dread storm.
Now we have to play.
That's very exciting. Yeah, a dread storm is starting up here.
Teamwork,
Okay,
Lauren.
I'm going to roll the d13 for you on this part. Hold
I don't want any part of this.
You
on.
started
Roll a
it.
d13 on his behalf.
2.
I did not roll a d13. Okay, cool. So we are at a dread. So dread storm's happening, guys. We're doing this. Okay. However, because of what you rolled, we already have a character for you from there. One of your 2 characters is already from that domain. Please re-roll.
Okay. 12.
That is one of the ones I'm vetoing because it takes too long to build Merkshire characters. So give me one more.
8.
8. Ah, now we're talking. Love this. Love this. I genuinely love this. Okay. Perfect. All right. So you, my friend, you know what? I literally have a character pre-built from this world. So if you're cool with that, we can run with it.
Let's do it.
What was the name? Here we go. Okay. So yes. Would you like to be... So you are going to be a fish creature from the grave marshes. You're going to be a fish man monster from the grave marshes. I believe that the options for this, for who have appeared in these so far, damn it, it's over the thing there. Yes, we already had that one. So, I'm going to give you 2 options for names, and I'll tell you what they are, and they're already built. And this is a crazy system you've never seen before, and all 3 of you being real weird things. Option 1, you will be Holy Yasmon the Fish Head. You are good at determining lies, worshipping the glorious Ugaltlur Mother of Screams, and swimming with heavy objects. These are your skills.
Okay.
Or you may be the Stiltcutter, a gator head. Unlike the other, so Holy Yasmon, all your skills were in different attributes. The Stiltcutter gator face has all skills in physicality. You are good at power biting, precision biting, and stealthy swimming. Do you want to be Holy Yasmon, or do you want to be the Stiltcutter? And a little bit of lore, the Stiltcutter refers to how many of the human settlements, or many of the air breather settlements within the grave marshes, are built on stilts within the swamps. So you are Stiltcutter, so you swim up and you cut those down, you just gobble the people up.
I'll be the Stiltcutter.
The Stiltcutter, alright.
I wish Siobhan were still alive.
Oh, she would have loved.
If she could summon him.
She could have summoned. Oh, she could have summoned so many people from that place. You would have loved it. All right, I am copying this sheet to your sheet. So actually, I apologize to anyone who is getting all hot and bothered for more spreadsheeting, because what we are doing instead is I'm going to drag this over, and we're going to get rid of the copy of you are hereafter the Stiltcutter. Boom, done, love it. All right, so we have 2 returning characters and 1 character who was built for a game that would have been last October, but that one never arrived. So, we said it was going to be a quick game, and instead we spent 26 minutes building and fleshing out characters. Mission accomplished, everyone.
Perfecto.
But in so doing, we have guaranteed ourselves a Dreadstorm. And in that Dreadstorm, Liv, I would love for you to do the honors, since I think Lauren's nerves genuinely couldn't take it. Would you just give me one beautiful, sweet D13?
I appreciate that, Philip.
Yeah.
But my nerves also can't handle another 13, so don't roll a 13.
I'm trying. 4.
4. You know what? You're a wonderful person. You've really helped out Lorena, and all is well. All right. I love 4.
What's 4?
Roll me another one. I'm sorry. I need that. This is just for another data point. I'm so sorry, guys. Everything's fine.
Another 4.
Another 4. How very, very interesting.
I hate it when Philip says that.
You don't like when I say
Never
things are
gonna-
interesting? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I mean,
The things you find interesting are hurtful to us.
no,
Yes.
they're not
They're
interesting.
deeply upsetting.
Oh, that's amazing. So, sorry for that long delay between the time I said, here's the invocation, and now people rolled stuff, and now we have characters. All right. The rains are pounding, the thunder is rolling, and the water is lapping against the side of the boat. 3 individuals are sitting inside the hold of the boat. One of them does not need to be inside a boat. He could happily be under the water, and yet he is here for reasons we'll get into in a moment. The first figure whom we find in this kind of like small cabin, which is it's a wood boat. The era of it seems to actually not be particularly old. It's a rather modern ship, but it definitely has a distinctive kind of like, it's very like, it's decorated to be a yacht in a certain way, but it is kind of like a smaller chamber underneath. The water, just the boat is shaking pretty crazily, but there is kind of sitting in one corner of it, perhaps kind of nursing an injury on like a forearm. There is a large gator-headed creature. The Stiltcutter, he calls himself. He seems to have been pulled aboard this boat as some strange form of either refuge, punishment, he's not sure. You were injured in a previous situation, Stiltcutter, which we can reveal at times if you want to, but suffice it to say you were trying to like deal with some people, you got buffeted around, you took an injury, a human offered you sanctuary, and you took it because you could tell that the storm was probably going to be bringing things that, in your injured state... I mean, look, you could precision bite, you could power bite, you could stealthy swim away from them, but given the choice between that and being inside a boat...
I'll take it.
You would take it. You, however, are kind of freaked out by the very frightening company you're with, the first of whom seems to be a pretend woman. She is made of plaster and paint. She's wearing a little cigarette girl outfit, and she might be carrying a tray of waterlogged cigarettes, cigars, some candy that has been soaked through. Her hair is actually completely or is completely plastered and painted as well. So her hair is not like wet on her head, but she does have, like there's like water spots and stuff where she's been trying down here. This is Vela, the cigarette girl, and you do notice, Mr. Stiltcutter, that she has some cigarette burns on her arms. Or you probably don't know they're cigarette burns because you're a gator face, but you get the idea. She has strange burns on her pretend arms. There is another woman who was also sort of rescued or found her way onto this boat. She has an intense bearing, and she has traveled a very long way ever since the mist shifted and horrors began running amok in the world. Her name is Emma. And Emma, I'm gonna actually say, you know what, give me a luck roll, which for you is a D100.
Okay.
Vela, I'd love for you to, can you handle a luck roll, Lauren? It's okay if not. I'll give you moderate luck if not. It's fine.
I'll do it. A 6.
A 6, cool. Okay.
77, no, my luck is low.
Your luck is, oh my god, Emma's luck is low. I can work with this. Great. Okay, so Emma,
no.
You are actually awoken from a feverish, like painful sleep. You awake and you have not, you're not really even sure where you are. You have a vague recollection of being injured and falling into water, of things chasing you, of horrors around, and then you have a moment of this memory of a strong hand pulling you out, and maybe words of somebody indicating something special about you or a special potential. And everything since then has been a blur. You've been in feverish sleep, sort of recovering. So those two strange creatures who I just described, one of whom looks like a gator, although he's wearing some crude clothing, the other being a woman who seems to be a moving mannequin or plaster statue. They are who are with you in this small cabin below decks. There is a boat that is rocking aggressively. It is probably, for the Stiltcutter, it is not much of a thing, but for Emissary and possibly even for Vela, it is kind of almost sickening as the sort of waters are rolling, and it's stormy, and you hear crashes of thunder outside. Genuine intensity.
Would Emma be familiar with either one of these types of creatures?
I would say let's make another luck roll. It's possible you'll roll under it.
Possible. Anything's possible. I did not.
So I will say that I'll say that you are not like, how do I express this? You have never seen like a massive alligator wearing clothes, or it's really, and he's less an alligator. He's more like a green scaly skinned, like that rough. Do alligators even have scales, or is it like called something else? That like incredibly, like.
It's not.
Like their hide or
Hide, yeah, whatever it is. It's the body is that, but the body is proportional to like a human or like a general biped. It's just the face is this long kind of alligator face. You have never seen something like that. You have never seen a moving statue or a moving mannequin, the way that this other woman is. But you have seen some horrible things in the past week or two. So while you don't know these things, the idea of inhuman creatures is not a shock to you. Does that make sense?
I think Emma would be very interested in Bella.
Understood.
What? Who? Where am I?
Oh, I don't know. I just ended up here after my world kind of got turned upside down. But, I've still got the cigarettes that I had if you want to try one. They're a little waterlogged, but I'm sure if you lit it up enough, it might dry off and then you could get a nice smoke going.
No, these are tobacco?
As far as I know some of those fellas like wacky tobacco, but as far as I know, this is the regular stuff.
You speak very strangely, but no, I do not sully myself with tobacco. What?
Oh, well, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. I mean, we're floating in a boat right now, aren't we?
Yes, did you bring me here? Did you save me from the water?
Oh gosh, no. Wait, do I know how I ended
I'm
up here?
gonna say that with a 6, you know that you were you were in a few different pieces, and you were picked up. The only thing you know about the person who picked you up is he seemed to be an older man. He had kind of like a bristly white beard. He was wearing like a blue pea coat. He had kind of a ship hat on, like a sailor.
Oh no! Okay.
And he did have a peg leg.
Oh, this is exactly who I think it is. No, I didn't pull you up. I wish I had, but I float pretty well, and I think somebody just got me out, but I was all in pieces, but they managed to put me together pretty well. I don't think I'm missing a toe. But you know what? I can just find a stick and glue it right on.
Can I subtly insert myself?
You
Because,
so
they're being super
can.
loud.
I love this. So if you go to your page of Stiltcutter, right now I'm going to explain to you how this works. You are using, for some reason, for this domain, it's the Christie system, which you guys have recently been seeing used as the Christie comedy system on Third Time's the Charm. So, you're going to make a physicality roll. I'm not going to give you your bonus for stealthy swimming because you are on land right now. So please roll a d12. If you can find a d12, that's probably the die that you have rolled the least in all your playing with us. It is not the d20. It's the one. It is that one right there. Yes. Perfect.
6.
A 6. Excellent. So, because you have rolled 5 or higher, you have succeeded. You will notice that your intuition and your knowledge are lower sized dice. So it's much harder to, it's like proportionally, you're usually going to roll over a 5 for your intuition, for your physicality. For the others, it'll be lower. And the higher you roll, the better it is for you. But you do manage to move your large form over to them rather quietly. And you may begin speaking, and they kind of, you've snuck up on them to a certain degree.
Mouth breathers. Too loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try to keep it down.
Was not talking to you.
Oh, did you want a cigarette?
What?
A cigarette. It's an herb, I think. A leaf. It's a leaf that you can roll up and you can smoke it. Like I said, it's a little wet, but maybe. Wait, can mannequins physically blow on things? You know what? It doesn't matter. She will try.
Sure. Okay, sure. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and roll for Miss Vela. Let's do a performance roll. Because you're trying to show how one
Act it
would-
out.
Yeah, you're
A
acting it out.
19. So she's got this, and she's like, they're a little wet, but let me just see if I can dry this off for you.
I want to think
What?
about why they would give mannequins the ability to blow.
I don't understand.
That was off.
I don't know if that works, but you can try it. And can she hand it to him, and then it just like flops over?
Sure, yes, it is just an absolutely...
What are you?
Me?
What are you?
Gator. Bite. Things go squish.
Oh,
Are you here to bite us?
I think I would crunch because I'm not made of the squishy stuff. I'm made of and she'll like knock on her chest.
Yeah, she
No
does
bite.
sound like a log more than a fish or something, yeah.
But I'd rather you didn't because I really don't want to be crunched.
No bite her. No squish. Haven't decided on you.
Oh,
Talk loud.
After a few moments, as you guys are trying to get your bearings, the boat like shifts really aggressively, and I would say that Mr. Stiltcutter, with your stuff, you don't really notice this because it's like underwater. You probably hear much better, but up here it's a little less whatever. Emma, you don't hear this either because your listen is low. Vela, your perception. So actually, none of you hear anything specific.
Great.
But after a few moments, a door opens above you. And you hear a sort of, it's kind of like, there's like a step and then kind of like a knock. Step, knock, step, knock, step, knock. And kind of coming down a little kind of stairway, kind of like drenched in rain, is this kind of this sailor. And he looks at you all and says,
Yar. So you're all still alive, are you?
I think so.
We're not taking on any water, are we?
I don't think so.
You're awake. I fished you out. You owe me your life, except I don't care about. Yar, I don't care about collecting on such debts. But no, you'd be dead if it weren't for me.
he says to Emma.
Well, I don't know that it was you, but rather you were guided by a higher being
No.
to find me, but I am thankful for that guidance.
Aye.
What
Yeah.
do you have us here for?
Well, I'm trying to rescue you, deliver you all to a promised land. I am. You're. You're.
Oh, well, that sounds so exciting.
Indeed. You were the
This
ones
one-
that came to me, and none of your sort of right to be my crew. And at this point, I don't need a crew, not on a little boat like this. No, I'll sail us myself. But the storm is upon us. We have but moments before it hits us with its full force.
Oh. Did you want a cigar?
Yar, I do.
Oh. Here you go.
It's a little wet, but I've smoked soggier.
Oh, well, I'm glad. The seawater might actually add some flavor to it.
I have been called an old salt before, and I like all salty as hell. I do.
Salt good. Yes.
Yeah.
Would Emma have seen the burn marks on Vela when she handed over?
You know what? Emma's look is like, oh wait, what is her look? What is her spot hidden? Sorry. Her spot hidden's decent, actually. Yes, I will say that if you were looking, you probably did notice that on her.
So Emma will grab Vela's arm.
Oh.
What are you, and what are these?
Well, I'm mannequin, and these are just things that happened when people just weren't paying attention to where they were putting out their cigarettes. I used to work in a bar, and people would get, careless and sometimes angry, and sometimes they'd just put their cigarettes out on me. So
It hurt.
Well, what's the year for freaking
So emissary, your references are going to be more like Victorian at oldest, maybe more like the early end of that. Lauren,
Like-
your references are more like 1920s, 30s.
Right.
Like 19th century, but like specifically mid 19th century.
I'd say mid-19th century, except you guys can make whatever references you need to. I understand. If we're being strictly speaking, you are not from like England. You're from a kind of like a pastiche of it. So, what are you trying to reference?
I'm trying to figure out if I know what mannequins are or not, because they literally were created during that time period.
I'm gonna say that yes. We'll say that you've potentially emissary was like a worldly person, so we will say that you
Okay.
maybe have seen fashions on these.
Fashion,
mannequin-
my, like,
Yeah, sure.
So,
Does Vela feel pain?
Vela can feel pain.
Oh.
More emotionally, Like
why would you
Oh,
give her that
okay.
opening into making her life worse?
Vela can definitely feel pain.
You,
No, it hurts a lot. It's just, the thing that hurt the most is that they just weren't careful and they just put
no, my child. You
Why
are,
not bite?
You are a mannequin, a sort of
doll, a big one.
and they blemished you like this.
Yeah, but I'm sure they didn't mean it.
Oh, that is unforgivable. I'm sorry, I'm just. How are you possible?
Oh, well, when a mommy mannequin and a daddy mannequin love each other, they get together, and then a baby mannequin. Wait, that's not true.
As you're saying all of this,
Makes sense.
at this point, the boat is struck by a tremendous wave. I need Vela, please make a dexterity saving throw. Emissary, please make a dodge roll. Stiltcutter, please make a physicality roll. So for you, Stiltcutter, roll a d12. You're trying to roll 5 or higher. Emissary, you're going to roll your dodge, which is you need 20 or higher, or 20 or lower. Lauren, you need to roll your thing.
17.
17. Okay,
That
great.
was a 15 that I needed.
11.
11. Excellent, Stiltcutter.
You both are taking the low rolls. Screwed.
Well, though, actually, on their respective die, those are actually high rolls for them.
36.
36. I have some good news for you.
Uh-oh.
An easy roll, you need to be under double your score. So I'm going to give you the benefits of an easy success. You have a 20, so you're under 40. So,
yes!
So Emma, though
Okay.
you do fall over, you're not going to be injured by it. However, as this wave hits, like Emissary kind of goes falling over Vela, you are sort of like up, but you manage to stay stunned. Stiltcutter, you just kind of like ride it like it's not even like anything. The sailor also holds on to kind of where he's been just listening to you all the time. He goes,
Yar! It's upon us now. If any of you want to come up and help, you may, but you might be washed over the side. Although, if, as the one on the ground were saying, if you're here, it's for a reason, isn't it? I've been guided here, I have been.
and he starts kind of heading back up the steps. Does anybody want to go up onto the decks with him, or would you all like to stay down here where it is safe? Safe. Do you want to go
Vela-
help him keep you safe, or do you want to stay down here and let him try to protect you?
Vela's gonna just look to the other two because she's not good at making decisions.
You are. You should be impossible. You should not be risk.
Oh, well, anything is possible.
Makes sense. She statue, me gator.
Right, and he's a talking alligator, so
Yes, you seem like you might be more useful in this kind of environment and thing.
Water, easy.
Can I
Not breather.
are you related to crocodiles?
Cousin,
And a caiman?
super dick, hate him.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
don't bring him up.
Oh, I'm
Croc
sorry.
school. That's fine. Fine. You know what? Let's go up. I'm gonna go up.
Oh.
Might be people to bite.
Oh,
I like to bite, so.
I believe that I will also ascend only because I think that there is something divine happening here and there is clearly some protection. But I don't believe you should go up, my dear. You are something special.
oh, well, that's so nice of you. What was your name?
I'm Emmeline, Emma
Oh,
Seri.
that's such a beautiful name. My name's Vela, and for the longest time I thought it was novella, like a small novel, right? But it was just really people saying no, Vela, but so it's just Vela.
Whoever made you, did you know? Service, you should be revered, not spoken down to.
Oh, well, I did want to be a performer, but that didn't quite work out. I was trying real hard, and then Hystales kind of just, well, I don't know what happened to Hystales, but it's not really there anymore, and I can't find any nightclubs on this boat, so hopefully there will be one wherever we're going, and I can make a career out of whatever goes on.
Would Emma know anything about Hystales?
God, poor Bella.
Let's do for old Emma. Let me just look real quick at your that's almost too low to even try.
What is it?
It would be history. No, let's roll a give me a luck roll on it. I know it's also still low, but it's better than that.
It's better than 5.
Yeah. Man, that it is interesting because because it really is a punishing system is Call of Cthulhu.
Nope, 52.
No, 52. I'll say that the name might be vaguely familiar, almost in that like easy success way, but you're not sure if it's a place or if it's a like region. You're not sure. You maybe understand enough about the general cosmology that you understand it's not Merkshire.
Yes, but I would have no idea that there are others like her. As far as I know, she's the only one of her kind. Okay, excellent.
Before I go up,
Yeah.
can I ask Vela for one of her leaves?
Absolutely, you can take as many as you'd like, although I'd like to leave some for the rest of the crew. There might be some in the other cabin, so, here, why don't you take 3?
I'm just gonna take them and put them on my crocodile tongue and just eat them.
Oh, well, I think they have stuff that you just, put in your mouth and hold, but I don't think that's the right type.
Good leaves.
Oh,
We friend.
here, why don't
You have weak jaw. I'd bite for you.
Thank
You get one.
Oh, I appreciate that very much. Why don't you try a cigar? And she'll just like gently put it in his mouth.
Bigger, better.
Really, it's like very nice about that, honestly.
This feels like a very Disney movie kind of crew.
Yeah, this is a very strange Disney movie. The sailor and his friends. All right, so Emma and Stiltcutter, and I'm sorry, I was looking up old information to make sure I had stuff right. Lauren, is Vela going up or is she staying below as Emma requested?
She'll stay. She'll stay.
She'll stay below.
She has to wait for directions. So
all right, so Emma and Stiltcutter, some cigarettes, and thinks Vela's his friend. He'll bite for her. Okay, cool.
He is his friend.
So as basically
friend.
as Stiltcutter and Emma sort of climb up the stairs, leading Vela below, you are hit by like powerful winds. There's lightning in the sky. I actually didn't roll for the following thing, but let's sort of see. Ooh, yeah, and in fact, it is a dark and stormy night in the truest sense. Sort of the purple tinged rain. The seas are very choppy.
Red
Emma,
sky.
yeah, purple sky at night. Never get in a fight. Emma, I will say that with your sort of vision, which is like around 50, you can you think there may be some land in the far, far distance.
Okay.
But you guys are sort of like twisting around, and there's pretty intense sort of like rain kind of, it's like the decks are pretty hard. You can try to like, you're holding on to some railing. As you're sort of heading out, the sailor, he's sort of just expertly kind of like at a ship's wheel, sort of, yeah, har, 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 you're here. And he tosses to you, Emma, a life preserver.
Oh yes, I will.
And says, keep that around you just in case you go I go overboard in a blow for your, it'll make it easier for us to find you. if we're not all dead, yar, har, har, har. As he's kind of just, going with this. He is smoking, by the way. He managed to get that thing to light. Stiltcutter. You typically have, you're not on too many boats, but you kind of understand the ideas. They've built this thing that lets them move through water. Not as good as you, but it's kind of bigger, so it goes faster. But if they built a big, if they just, if people from the Grave Marshes ever really decided to build a boat, it would be so much better than human boats. I guess that's the idea. You could do this better. Because you could, yeah, but it's kind of it's a sort of small thing. Emma, you do notice on the thing that's tossed to you, there's like a little bit of blood on it, on this life preserver, implying it's like it's wet, but it's not fresh. The whole thing is soaked through, but the blood seems to be like stained on. It's just a little bit in a couple of places.
I don't know if that's comforting or not.
And you also actually notice that, like, generally there are there are signs of damage around this boat that looks somewhat old. Some bloodstains. So far, you have not seen a single other soul up here.
Sir, is there anyone else on your crew?
No, I'm sailing alone. It's why I needed help, you see. I have an old salt's mind. I believe there's something out there.
And he sort of points ahead. And it seems that you guys are sailing right into the heart of the storm.
That's our destination. Beyond the dread storm. The isle we're looking for, but I don't think we're alone out here. There's something out there, on or right under the waves.
Should we be sailing into the storm? Should we not be sailing for the land?
You said you were here for a promise, didn't you, love? A great purpose, aye?
Yes,
You've been guided here. Well, I was guided too, wasn't I? I'm looking for something. And when the dread storms around us, that's when my kind is at our safest.
And what kind are you?
Aye, what kind indeed. I'll tell you when you need to get back down below, but for right now I need some help. But when you see those mists are coming, if I don't tell you yourself, you get down below and you lock them out, you understand? Otherwise, they'll do things to your mind.
Do I think this man is sane?
Why don't you, this is a good one for you, why don't you make a psychology roll on this gentleman?
Okay. That's a 54. What's my psychology? Oh, just a regular success. So
you
close.
could spend some of your already dwindling luck to make it a better
No,
success,
we
but
will not be doing that.
probably not a good thing to do at this point, yeah.
Not an important enough role to do that.
So, as you sort of are like, ooh, you're kind of alright, whatever, you can tell that this man is definitely, like, unhinged, certainly.
Yes.
You also, however, can tell that he is, he may be delusional, but you don't think he's delusional about those mists he's warning you of. Like, you get the sense that if this man says, this thing is dangerous, it's true, but he is probably going after goals that are either, perhaps his goals are somehow delusional or whatever, but it's also probable that his goals are merely psychotic or sociopathic and just narcissistically self-interested. It might be more of a thing of like he's up to some kind of like self-interested antisocial stuff, but you don't think he is like he doesn't seem to have broken totally from reality by any means. Does that make sense? I'm sure that a mental health professional would tell me that I really did not explain any of that well, but it's the best I can do at this moment.
Okay, all right. So he's not going to necessarily get us killed.
Yeah. Well, and especially,
not trying to.
You do think that, yeah, based on what he said, you think he wants you to live.
Okay.
Live. He wants you guys to survive. He wants you to get wherever he's taking you. Whether or not that's a good thing to be doing, yeah, he's a little weird. But he's and Stiltcutter, he's kind of saying this too. He's like, and you do see kind of like tendrils of purple mist, which is something that both of you have seen periodically in your travels. But he's sort of warning you,
When the dread storms come, That's when the power's out. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to like point at the pipe in his mouth
Yeah.
and say, "I help for leaf."
Yeah. Fair enough. I've had my fill of waterlogged tobacco.
And he sort of hands that to you.
I'm gonna puzzling look at like I observed how he was using it. I'm trying to figure out like, can I do the same thing?
Okay. Great. Could you please make an intuition roll? Roll a d6.
Oh, it's an easy roll. 4.
Sadly, now you do have a resource you could spend if you want to sort of do this right, but with a 4 you have failed. So you kind of we'll say if you want to spend something on this, I'd recommend it for more important things later. But you look at it and you see what he was doing, and you like try to smoke it, but instead you do just eat it, and it actually does burn the inside of your mouth. You know, it's like because it was lit, and so it's until like some smoke comes out, and he just
Indeedy.
and sort of as you try to eat it, it sort of burns.
Leaf bite back.
He will sort of say,
What I need help with from both of you is watching out and doing things. You, lady with the faraway eyes, go to the prow. Look out at where we're going. See if you can get a sense of what it is. What kind of thing is out there coming for us? You.
Very well.
Gator face. I like the cut of your teeth. I'd like you to go back by the engines. And if anything comes up and tries to stop them, clamp down on them. Defend us with your jaws. I'd urge you, by the way, if you want to try to swim off and escape on your own, you're welcome to try. But those mists, they go below the waters. Only aboard my ship will you be safe at this time. Of that I assure you.
What keeps us safe from the mists, if not the waters?
I do. I can pilot you through them.
I bite. Protect ship.
Protect the ship. Protect the ship, protect yourself. But when I tell you, that's when you go below. You understand?
Yes, I think we have something very precious below to protect. I'm still trying to understand. Yes, I will go look and see if I can see what is
perfect.
outside.
So both of you, as you kind of take your positions at the sort of fore and aft of the vessel. Emma, I would like for you to make, you're going to make 2 rolls for me. First, please make a look roll.
Look.
Spot hidden. So sorry, they call it spot hidden. It's in the 4th column under the S's.
Yes, I have found it.
Yeah.
Once I need to look for spot hidden.
Thank you. Yep.
Look.
Tiny variations in all the different games we play. How stupid.
Okay, this time I rolled a 2.
Yay! That is actually, for you, a vital success, which is a thing in this game. It just goes into less. So, Emma, you look out straight ahead, and you realize that he wasn't lying about something else. I don't know if this makes you feel like, okay, this guy might be sane, but you do see that there is something ahead of you. Now, I actually need you to roll me one last D13.
You say last, but I know it's not the last.
Oh, there can always be
Always more.
Yeah.
There's always more of these. 3.
3. Great.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it great?
Emma, ahead of you, there is a thing in the water. At first, you're like, is it another boat? But you see there is a movement to it that seems more animal-like. There is something moving, and I now would like for you to roll for me. This is another one you're pretty good at. I need you to make an occult roll.
Oh, excellent.
You're pretty darn good at those two. And your extreme success is a 13 at those, which is pretty fun.
I literally rolled another 2.
literally rolled another 2. Fantastic.
How is that like that should not be mathematically possible?
Well, I think it's technically
Improbable.
Any,
I know
any 2 rolls it's all it's just it's improbable, but
it's just insane.
It's also it also was as probable as any other, thing. With a 2, congratulations, that is another vital success. So Emma, he really was right to send you to do this. This was the right vibe. So you look up, and in your vital success? Oh my god. Girl, don't even. Here is what you know, emissary. It is not a massive creature that is coming your way. But it is a sizable thing. You think it is something that is maybe a little bit smaller than this boat, minus its wings. There is a dragon in the water that is swimming towards you all. And yet, with your eyes, it is almost like you're seeing, you're getting this, crazy vision. Emma, you have had on occasion, you have had maybe some experiences that are supernatural in nature.
Yes.
This is a special one. You think that maybe the forces that guide you are letting you see further and sharper and clearer despite this, but you catch just in this one perfect bolt of lightning up ahead that there is a dragon swimming through the water. But this dragon, its scales are sort of like a mixture of black and red and gray. It doesn't look like the dragons of storybooks. It actually seems to be bringing in other things you know of the occult. It is not merely a dragon, but this dragon's eyes are glowing red, and there is something almost wolf or bat-like in its appearance. And you do see as it rises up with its mouth open, rather than massive rows of sharp teeth, this dragon seems to have 2 fangs.
Motherfucking vampire dragon.
As it is just... And Emma, I'm even going to say, you know what? Throw a psychology roll on top of this.
Jesus Christ.
That's Black Dragon.
33.
33. I think that's a hard success for you.
Okay, well now I'm hitting successes where they matter, man.
There we
All right,
go.
yes. Oh yeah, my psychology is stupid high. It's
Yeah,
not-
this is what you do is manipulate people. So yeah, this is your main skill. You're good at psychology and fast talk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that with a hard success on this, with how your occult success there, where you're like you can tell that you're seeing a dragon and a vampire. You're like, I'm seeing all the signifiers of both from everything I've read and all the stuff I've ever used to manipulate, save people's souls. You're like, no. Okay, this is a mixture of 2 horrible monsters who are written about in all sorts of different kind of culture stuff, so clearly they're real. And after what you've seen in the past stuff, so basically there is a vampire dragon on the way, and something about its eyes. It looks determined. It looks like it has been called. It looks like it is traveling somewhere because something is summoning it. It looks like it is not trying to escape so much as it is trying to go to a destination, and now there is a storm upon it that is hampering it to some extent. But it is sort of swimming towards the boat. And I think also you suspect it may feel that it could use some fuel. It could drink some blood and maybe, move a little quicker. So it wouldn't shock you if the vampire dragon has seen this boat and is charging toward it.
And the scripture said that its eyes could be so cruel. Emma will immediately turn around and run back to inform the captain of what she has seen.
Yar, did you see anything, lass?
There is a creature that appears to be both vampire and dragon.
What?
And it is coming for our ship.
Yar, it's both vampire and dragon, you see. Aye,
It is
one of
a
those is
dragon.
trouble enough. I'd never heard of both, but... Do you know what this means, lass? This means we're going the right way.
No, it means that we are in grave danger. We need to avoid this being at all costs.
No.
It will attempt to to destroy us.
Lass, do you have any fighting abilities? Are you a strong one?
She probably doesn't. I would just look for all your purple things, and if you think any of them would be good in a
I have-
fight.
Unarmed brawl.
Okay. What's your unarmed
but
brawl?
like 25?
No, you
Nope.
yeah, you would think that means he's going
That's
to sort of
nothing.
he kind of looks at you and says,
No, you done your job. You warned me, you did. Aye. Get back down below with your so-called precious cargo.
I think we need to try and evade this thing. We
No.
need to.
No, lass. We're heading straight on.
and he like throws something, and Stiltcutter, you hear behind you the engines begin to like turn, and they're traveling they're cutting through the water even more aggressively.
And he says, Gatorface, come up here, friend. Come up here, matey. Your time is now.
You know, I'm lethargically coming up.
Yeah, sure.
What?
Yeah, we have the ultimate hunter ahead of us. And it's gonna be up to you and me to defeat him. Or her. I don't want to be too gender normative in my assumptions.
I am not a fighter. I'm a leader, and I am telling you, urging you that this is not the right path.
Can I bite?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to bite like you never bit before. You'll want
I'm
to
in.
go for the... Wait a minute. Yar! I know what we're gonna need you to do. Yeah. Actually, lass, you get the other one. I need you to find some tools. I need you to start smashing all the wood aboard. We gotta fill his teeth with the sharpest wood we can. Yar! Full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. Here.
You put the wood through the heart of a vampire, not
Indeed.
through its mouth.
You're gonna have to bite the dragon straight through the heart, man.
And like I don't know what gators do when they're excited, but I'm gonna do that.
Wiggle your little tail.
Perfect. Yeah.
We cannot risk the doll. She must stay below. What do you need me to do?
What do I need you to do? Well, you can do it below then if you must. Break up any furniture, anything you see down there. Even the top railings up here if you must. But we need as much wood as we can, as fast as we can. And we'll need her help. All hands on this. I got to steer, but Stiltcutter, start biting wood and shoving it amidst your teeth. Emma.
Stiltcutter enthusiastically, just like
Perfect.
say less.
All right.
I will go down
Say
below.
less.
I'll go down
Stiltcutter.
below with Bella.
Perfect. Stiltcutter, please make a this. I'm going to say this is a precision bite rather than power biting. So what you do when it's listed as a specialty, roll 2d12 and use the higher one.
Okie
But tell me what both numbers are.
I just got an 11
Great.
and an 11 again.
An 11 again. Congratulations. Not only have you succeeded, but because both of your rolls were over your target, you have a dread point. You've gained 1 dread point. You can add your dread points to any roll so that, like, if you ever roll a 1, you could spend 4 dread points and make it a success.
I'll keep that in mind.
Perfect. So there you go. And yeah, so you can get more dread points, but the point is you kind of you did that. Way to go. So you begin just chewing up the deck, and the guy's like, yar har har. Stiltcutter, I think Emma, I'll notice that as he's doing that, like you're seeing well, we'll get to that in a moment. So Emma, you're gonna go down to Vela?
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Bella's just standing there, holding the cigarette box, rocking.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm fine. I'm just waiting around to see what happens. I'm not really much use unless somebody tells me what to do. And since there's nobody to buy these cigarettes, I'm just, hanging out.
You are meant to be played with?
Oh, some are, but fortunately I was able to get a job selling the cigarettes. There are some girls who choose to be played with in certain ways, and hopefully it's consensual. I think sometime it might not be, but...
Okay, no.
Vela, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh gosh. Oh, she's not good at this. Oh, 17.
17. You feel the urge to like instinctively scratch your burns, but you don't. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, but we're not really. We're not supposed to be anything. We're just supposed to be. We're just people. Just hollow.
she'll keep rocking.
I have so many questions, but
Oh well, I'm happy to
now-
answer them.
right now we need to do is break apart all of this furniture. We need as many wooden shards as possible.
Oh
Are you able to help with that?
yeah, I think so.
Will it do you any harm?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not the strongest stick on the tree, but I can do something.
And she'll go and grab something and try
Sure.
to break it.
Yeah, make an athletics check for that. Just a simple.
Wait, is she made of wood?
She is not quite made of wood. She's made of like plaster.
Yeah.
It would be very fun to like use one of her arms for it. How'd you do with that?
That's true. 9.
A 9. You managed to. You're trying to like do some stuff. It's just not great. There is wood paneling on the wall, which maybe if you rip that off, it's not really that sharp, but you could sort of use that. Emma, if you would make for me up at the top, just roll, unless there'd be a. I'm gonna quickly see if there'd be one that seems below that. Yeah, no, I think. Could you just do a? Yeah, could you just do a strength for me? It's up. It's the orange box up at the top.
Got it. Yeah. 28.
28.
That's
Oh yeah, that's it. Right. So basically, you, however, Emma, you're able to like, you'll kick the leg off of an old thing. All the furniture down here is kind of gross and weird. There's also a wooden chest towards the back. It is printed with the name of this boat, which you've seen kind of like written out a few places you haven't quite read yet. But as you go over to it, Emma, the faded name of this boat is the SS Don't Come A-Knocking. Which actually is a boat that Lauren and Moses have had characters aboard before.
Oh yeah.
This is where Dick Rambone met his end.
No.
You know what though? Tiffany Swift had the best time, except
was
for the
so-
end.
she's
It
so
was
pretty.
not a happy ending, you guys.
Yeah. Well, it was later, but that's different.
It was, yeah. But
So Emma, if you want to
Dick
break that open, it seems to be like there's like a wooden chest. Perhaps that's worth something. You could give me another
Sure.
strength roll for that.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can break that one open. 32.
32. You manage to like break a couple pieces off of that as you like rip that apart. What is within it? Emma, you probably recognize some of these devices, though they're odd. This seems to be a lot of kind of like a variety of sort of variety of like of almost of implements, cylindrical, with different kind of girths, widths. Some of them seem to be attached to like straps one could wear. There are also many like jars and tubes of various lubricants. Yeah, you might understand what this stuff is for, but this boat's port of call is a Voluptuan port of call. So, some handcuffs that are covered in fur, which seems odd. Little riding crops.
There aren't any horses aboard. I'm not sure what those would be.
There's also you wouldn't necessarily call it a string of beads, and the beads they seem to get like larger as each one goes along.
Another strange whip for
Yeah, perhaps
horses.
this is a
Not
whip or
sure.
something. Yeah.
I'm
So
not
yeah.
sure what the shape adds to it, but
Yeah.
sure.
But anyway, the point is none of that is wood, but the chest itself is wood, and you can kind of
Chest itself is
pull a couple pieces off of it and just leave whatever's down there.
okay.
But at this point, you hear the sort of the sailor calling for whatever you got. You know, if you got anything, now's the time to bring it up.
Yes, Miss Vela, please.
Yes.
Stay. I will carry. Can I carry it all myself, or do I need her?
You could. It would be easier to carry it all with her, but you could certainly.
Vela will just like keep loading little like
little.
like she doesn't want to add to the burden, but get as much up there as possible. Is
Yes.
this good?
Yeah.
Do you want me to keep on breaking this stuff?
I'll do the best I can.
Y- Yes, just be careful. Don't harm yourself.
You know what? We might add some fragrance, and she'll stick cigarettes in it.
Amidst them. All right, fair enough. Okay,
Sure.
great.
Actually, that'll make it better for Stiltcutter. He'll be happier.
Yeah.
Gonna be happy. I was about to say he's gonna love it.
They're scented toothpicks.
Perfect. So as you sort of head your way up,
Yes.
kind of with all this stuff, you come to see that actually now, like, the storm is even more intense. And Emma, you are caught by Stiltcutter. You've been sort of smelling this as well, but Emma, you're sort of caught by this like intensely sort of scented. It's kind of coppery and sweet. The mists are upon. There's a purple haze nearby, and it does give you a slight headache. You're not like breathing it in yet, but you can tell you're on the edge of something. And it almost seems to you that the now larger form, which is only a few hundred feet away, sort of charging, half flying, half swimming, seems to almost be trying to like get through this mist itself while also hoping to consume what it can here.
Don't
Don't like that. The sailor says, "Yar, get the rest into his mouth, and then Stiltcutter, my friend, I'll do what I can, but it'll be up to you. Yeah, arr, 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 arr. And if any of the rest of you want to help, then come up and fight. Fight for the ship. Fight for the destination. Fight for the promised land. Yar, yar. An island unknown to all, but we'll find it, we will. Yeah, yar, yar.
Don't know about all that. Just want to bite.
Yes, please bite this dragon creature before it takes us.
If it bleeds, I can bite.
So Stiltcutter, as you sort of make your way, kind of Emma will put the remaining pieces of jagged wood amidst your teeth.
Can I like give him a sermon to like amp him up?
I think that's a very sweet idea. Absolutely. I don't think that would be a fast talk in this case, and honestly, you're not sure. Fast talking is maybe not a thing that would work on this guy completely, but you could definitely do a charm.
Okay, I was gonna say not a fast talk, but a charm.
Yeah.
I think.
Because you're also not like fast talk is like you're really not trying to trick him. You do want him to do better. You know,
I just want him to truly understand.
So let's
be
do a charm.
inspired.
Yeah, and
Like-
just don't roll a d100 or none of this happened. Or don't roll a 100 or none of this happened.
Roll a fumble.
Yeah.
30 exactly.
30 is a success for you. It is a normal success. So basically, Stiltcutter, she gives you some like words of encouragement. Do you want to say any of those, Emma, or do you simply want to say that you said them?
It's simply that you have a divine purpose here today, and that I know you will be guided like marionette strings swiftly to your target, but please get this fucking right.
I understood half of that.
Bite well and bite hard.
Got it.
All right.
And I want to like smell on the wood that it has some cigarette in it. Like I'm getting the warm fuzzies. Like protect Leaf Stone Girl. She owe me more leaf.
All right. So Emma, are you going to stay up top, or are you going to go back down with Fella? It really has to do with if you think you'd be helpful in the battle that's about to happen in the fight.
I don't think I would be, and I think I would want to go back down to make sure Bella is
Of
okay.
course, sure. Because if we ever have an opportunity for Liv and Lauren's characters to get together in like a
Do anything at all together.
Lauren,
Especially when one is enchanted by the other and thinks she's like a divine gift
exactly, yeah.
and wants to worship at her feet.
Yeah. Wants to worship at her broken toe. She has one broken toe, and you're like, it's like, no, the imperfection makes you perfect. Basically, I love the idea that while this fight scene's going up, Emissary is like ritualistically and sensually like washing Vella's feet.
Which, very biblical.
Very religious.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, they're always kissing Jesus' feet, so you can just do that to your sex mannequin. So as
She's a cigarette girl.
well, that's what some. Okay, anyway, the point is, as
We didn't make it gay again, but we did.
well, shocker. And it took approximately 1 hour and 22 minutes for Liv and Lauren to turn it into. Yeah, exactly. All right, so will you actually go wash your feet as like
Sure.
okay, cool. So that's so basically Emma goes down and you could explain that you want to do that, but yeah, let's go ahead and just put that on the thing.
Yeah, sure.
Bella's just standing there.
You're I would like to attend to you. I think that you need some repairs, and I would very much like to assist.
You know, I'm completely fine, except my toe fell off, my little one. And you know, I always thought that was the cutest one. It's such a shame.
Perhaps we can repair you if you would allow me to look.
You know what, Emma? Make a first aid roll.
Hey,
I'm gonna let you use this is really technically an arts and crafts roll, but I'm gonna let you use your first aid modifier for this. Because you're decent at those.
Anyone in defeat? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Jesus, we have gone there, haven't we? 55, which I think is a success, but I don't know. Do I need a success or a hard success?
You need a normal success. I'll say for this, you can, there's, oh my god. Oh, shoot.
No.
As you're looking through, you're looking around the room, and, one of there's a somewhat floppier, object that was in that chest that you found earlier.
Small little.
And you actually, this one's a little it's more of some strange polymer that kind of flops around. It's not rigid like some of the others. And you do think that if you it's kind of similar skin tone to what hers is, and were you to cut off a piece of it, just cut off the part of the tip, you could insert that into where her toes were, and you actually, you could maybe if you sort of.
Could I also do some grafts?
Yeah, you could yeah, absolutely. So as you kind of just. And then, of course, you can just generally anoint her feet with the various lotions and lubricants that are there. You can just oil up her feet. Yeah, sure.
Sure. So we're just doing that while this giant vampire bat attacks.
I really, even though I hate when it's used in movies because it's so overdone, the temp track for this is that while the fight's going on, it's playing Leonard Cohen Hallelujah, as it's Anyway. So while that's happening down below,
risking my life up here.
many the way, as they're down there,
Listen, who doesn't risk their life for some good lesbian action?
Yeah.
Come on.
But the sailor's
Yar, here we go. Right, here comes the beast. Yark. All right. Stiltcutter. Do you want to do this? Do you want to sort of try to engage, or should we go for broke right from the beginning?
Bring me close. I bite. Don't care how.
You don't care how, then?
No.
Yark.
Cold-blooded. Feel no fear.
Right. Then we'll see how true my aim is. Stiltcutter, I want you to climb onto the prow of the boat, go over the railing, and when I tell you, you let go. I'm going to ramming speed!
And he tosses the thing, and basically the boat lurches down below Emma as you're rubbing some kind of.
Brooke made a good point.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This should make the clock. Oh wait. Never mind. I don't want it to go back.
Yeah, you could go if you want to go back to 12. That sounds great.
No.
You're
No.
right. This is very erotic. It's going back to
No.
12. Great.
No.
No. No.
Wait,
No.
what?
No.
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 No, we're good.
No.
That wouldn't even count as my free one. Cool. Great idea.
You
on
only get a
point.
free one if you go.
Well, out of my hands at this point. So the point being, ramming speed intenses as you're rubbing these various slick things all over her feet. Suddenly you both lurch, but you catch each other in a very sort of tender religious moment. Because the boat lurched forward, but you're both sort of seated. You're kneeling before her. She's kind of half sitting on a thing. Bella.
She'll say, no one's ever been this nice to me before. I mean, there was this one girl named Hattie. She was very sweet to me. And I think she thought I was, sad and damaged. And I guess I might be a little bit. And she was very nice to me, but nobody's ever touched me the way that you are.
Jesus Christ. See, Philip, when it advances, you should reverse it 2 times for what I just said. Or
You deserve to be worshipped.
You know what? Sure. We'll reset. We'll wind up where we were. All right.
No, wait. Are we
Oh no!
reversing?
Oh, it's going ahead. Yeah, well, you're always reversing it.
Damn it, fucking dagger.
If you want, I'll advance it for those 2 things you did. That's the opposite. You'll be at 2.
Well, actually, it'd be better that we're at 2 than at 11, I think.
Exactly.
Cool.
Fine. We'll take. Fuck.
Or do you just want to be back at 13?
No!
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's where we were. But can we bank it?
No.
This is good action.
Okay, then we'll stay at 13.
Fine.
Stay at 13.
I'm mad at chat right now.
I'm trying to give you a short game here. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's too late for that. We're in too deep.
We're in it now.
They really, yeah, they're about to be in so deep. Once Emma and Vela realize what that box is really for, they're gonna be in so deep. All right. So.
Okay. No one's ever touched me like you're touching me.
You deserve to be worshipped. A doll that can speak and think and move. I didn't know such a thing was truly possible.
Oh, well, we come a dime a dozen.
No, never say such a thing. You are one of a kind. I have so many questions when we get through this. Where are you headed?
Oh, wherever the winds take me. Especially if I end up back in the ocean, I don't really have much of a choice. I am buoyant, so I will float. And I suppose the currents or the winds will take me wherever.
So you allow yourself to be guided by the divine. This is even more certain that we are meant to be in each other's path. I please let me tend to you as long as I can while we can on this boat, and we need to stay very safe.
Oh, well, I would love to stay safe. Are we friends now?
I would be honored to be your friend.
I would be honored to be your friend too. Unfortunately, the only friends that I made, like Hattie and them, they kind of ran into some trouble and had to get away, and a couple of them died. So I really hope that we get to stay friends for a long time.
Wait, did some of them die?
I don't know that Vela ever met Hattie. I think Vela was only there for the. Vela only met Dahlia.
No, Hattie was the one who was like, "Oh, girl."
Are you sure? I thought. No, I think Vela only met Dahlia when Dahlia came for her one shot to kill. You were being Sister Mercy. You wouldn't have been Vela when Sister Mercy was. When Hattie was around, you were Sister Mercy.
We're gonna have to retcon what I said earlier in the episode then, because I'm remembering things wrong.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. I'm just
Hattie.
hearing Dahlia when you've referenced that. I've just been saying
Dahlia, not Hattie.
That's who you said.
Okay.
In the summary or whatever, we'll change it.
Dahlia and Hattie just looks. I let that one go. But yeah, it was Dahlia, not Hattie.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to correct me because I'll roll with the bit.
I forgot too, so don't worry about it.
Everything you said
Dahlia
could kind of also just refer to Dahlia. It's fine.
Well, the problem is they were both in High Stilies, so like.
Yeah, and they were both Liv, so.
That's
Yeah.
really.
And all of my characters just end up with Liv somehow.
Yeah. So,
Like I said, we do not do this on purpose.
It just happens.
so
The dice decided who we were tonight.
I really do have to say that there is something amazing right now about the fact that there is. I see this in chat as well. There is a gator face vampire dragon fight, and most of our time and energy is on the like pseudo psychosexual relationship between a cult leader obsessed with dolls and a living mannequin whose arms are covered in cigarette burns, and a broken chest full of sex toys.
Y'all, I actually made Vela just to be a throwaway character, and then Philip added the sad backstory.
So was Emma.
Okay, so in any case,
Wait, presuming the homoerotic
Yes.
moment.
I would love to be your friend, but even more that I think you deserve to be worshipped, and I would very much like to be allowed to attend to you and to see to your needs and to help you
I
on
would
your
like
way.
to help you too. Although the only thing I can offer is a bunch of soggy cigarettes and maybe a song or two.
I would be honored to hear you sing.
Maybe one day. I've got to, warm up and stuff. And also, I don't think the acoustics in here are quite right. They're not like the Bad Dragon, Wait, did she work at the Bad Dragon?
Yeah,
I can't keep up. Okay.
you did. So as you the acoustics in here are similar to the Bad Dragon because moaning sounds. No, it's not as good as the Bad Dragon, but you could make the same kind of grunting and.
I was about to say I would love to inspire you to sing.
In any case, as you guys discuss singing one day, we are going to finally cut up above deck, where we'll see whether or not these characters survive, or if Emissary drowns. If Emissary drowns and just the mannequin is just next to her, unbreathing, as her body decays and her one friend dies. So we'll see how this goes. Stiltcutter. He has sort of suggested you say you're going to go for the big. So as he goes to ramming speed, as they're having this, we're cutting back and forth. You're holding on to the thing, preparing to go. You're going to make a couple of rolls now. The first one is to leap off of the bow. Okay, so you're gonna leap with this at the ramming speed, right as he's gonna cut the engines and try to sort of stop. But at this point, this vampire dragon is kind of rising up, and this is a big thing, Stiltcutter. So the first thing I need you to do is to simply roll a physicality. You're gonna roll just a d12. 10, great. So you with a mighty leap, you sort of time it, and he goes, now! And as you sort of jump up, you leap through the air, your mouth just full of razor sharp teeth mixed with wood, and you're giving yourself gum splinters, but you're ready for it. It's cigarette scented gum splinters, you're ready to go. You are leaping forward. This one is going to be the hard one for you. Okay. Or the harder one, rather. You only have a 50-50 on this. I need you to make a knowledge roll. This represents you aiming yourself at the perfect spot.
Yeah, right. 7.
A 7 will do it. So basically, Stiltcutter, you've leapt, but you know where you're going. And you're and you're I gotta get there, gotta get there, gotta get there. The vampire dragon is surprised to see something leaping at him, but he's kind of he's fixated on that sailor ahead, and he's also moving. And so this thing's leaping. He's moving a hand in towards you, but you, with your sort of leap and what the sailor has done, and the fair wind and the intensity of this, he's moving up. So he's not going to be able to grab you. You impact into his body, and at this point, I need you to roll a power bite. So you get to roll 2d12 and use the higher.
All right. I got a 9.
A 9. Okay. So you are so basically this one also has some degrees of success situation. So you manage to sort of bite onto him. You don't do it all at once, but you sort of your powerful jaws crunch, and the dragon's "Ah!" as you're sort of biting into the sort of chest. They're "Wah!" And kind of these bat-like wings go up, and his sort of long head kind of curls down to you in sort of surprise. He's now being, sort of fixated. The good news is, though, as you bite here, you crunch into the scales on his chest, and you do sort of break a few scales apart. Some wood is flying, and you see him see the wood, and he goes, no, Claire. As you're sort of biting towards his chest, he realizes there's danger. So he is going to attempt to knock you free. Can you make another physicality roll? As you're sort of just hang on to him. So you're going to roll just a d12.
12.
With a 12, but you are just fully in the spot. Can you please now gonna roll something on his behalf though. Hold on.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so
I'm kicking his ass.
He's sort of moving, and you're sort of doing this. Can you please roll a precision biting? Okay. As you sort of sink your teeth in, you do get double on this. So you get to roll 2d12 and use the higher number.
9.
9. Okay, so so here is with a 9. Do you want to use any dread points to go higher, or would you like to just leave those in case you need them?
I'm going to use a dread point.
You can use one dread point to get to 10.
This feels important.
Perfect. Okay, so you do get to 10. So basically, you have succeeded at biting into where his heart is, and as your sort of teeth are closing in on softer flesh underneath the scale, you can feel the wood is getting embedded in there, and actually there's a strange almost it's not really steaming, but there's some sense of this is there's some his body is really rejecting that wood as it's pressing into this sort of tender chest area. Area? Am I British now? Area. So as it's sort of biting in. With a 10, yeah, you've gotten that to there. So he is still pushing you away, and he does in fact push you off of his body. As you now that you've you're however, you have hit him with this. So the dragon yeah, you got a 10. So the dragon is in pain, and the dragon he's kind of pushing you down. So you're so you are now no longer on him. Is there anything you'd like to do as you're falling? Your options would basically be to try to bite onto his foot and stick around with him. You could simply go into the water and sort of swim around down there. You could try to get honestly, if you're in the water, you can get back to the boat with your
I'm gonna get in the water and get back to the boat.
Okay, so you'll just with him knocking you to the side, you'll just allow yourself to dive down. I'll even let you do this stealthily since you don't want to be seen. Make a stealthy swimming roll.
Do I get to roll 2 for that?
You get to roll 2 for that as well.
I got 8.
8, great. So basically, Stiltcutter did leap and managed to bite some scales through, hold on, bite into the thing. He's in pain. He's sort of, you see he's flying up, and the mists are kind of going around him. He's trying to knock them to the side. Stiltcutter, you just go into the water and you're in your element, but there is something very unpleasant down here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that the mist that was above is this. The same mist that is up here, down here is almost like an ink cloud of this purple ink that is spreading. And you have a sense that as much as that, you do know that the sailor man was telling you to stay away from that as well. Or when he was saying stay away from it above, he meant below too. He warned you about this. But you managed to stealthily swim back to the boat, and you're sort of climbing yourself back on. I'm actually going to roll, though, in the interceding moment there for our sailor as well.
Okay.
He would need to roll, really I have to roll an 11 or a 12 here, and really a 12. An 11 would still be partial for this. I roll an 8. So the sailor, with this going, Stiltcutter, one thing you notice is that the boat was charging past you even as you fell. So you do have to kind of swim up. So you're not at the front of it. You're climbing up kind of towards the back. And as you get up, Stiltcutter, you see that the dragon is now behind the boat, turning in the air, through that thick purple mist. You see his form, raking the wooden shavings out of his heart. So you wounded him. You did not slay him, but you did manage to wound him. And you wounded him in such a way that now the mist is between the two of you, and his wings seem to be also affected by this mist that was rolling. He then hits the water, and you hear splashing and stuff, but the captain, by this time, the sailor, has kicked the engines again, and the yacht is pulling forward. At this time, however, Stiltcutter, you'll probably do okay on these, but we'll just do it for the sake of this. Would you please roll another physicality roll, just a straight physicality? And
just one?
Just roll one die.
Okay, it was a 7.
A 7. Okay, so you definitely cough, or whatever the equivalent of an alligator cough is, but you have kind of a as the mist is now all over the deck. The sailor sort of says to you,
"Yar, well done, ya gator face. Stiltcutter, your name will be a legend. Ya fought off a vampire dragon, you did. You gave us a chance."
Tell story. I bite good.
You'll surely be told.
Reputation.
But for
Amazing.
now, get back down below. You can't breathe what's up here. You'll be no good to be dead. You got more use in you than that. Yar! I'll pilot us through whatever else comes. We're gonna make it. Tell the ladies below. Tell them of what you done. Tell them of what I done. Tell them where we're going. Yar! Yar!
I tell what I do first. You second.
Sure.
So I go down. So I'm like that back down.
So
below.
basically, you go down below as the boat is like going, and what you like walk down to is it's like a I don't know like an Enya music video or something of just like candles lit as like anyway. But you basically
I wanna
see that
ruin
like
the mood
Emma
so
is
bad.
like, although to a gator you're probably like, yeah, this must be what these weird beings do. Who knows? Yeah.
I want to just interrupt whatever they're doing. I don't care how intimate it looks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Bella. I'm gonna say, leave.
And she'll give him she'll put a cigarette in his mouth.
And I'm gonna like just pat her on the head. And just look at Emma, look back at Bella, and just like go sit in the corner.
The best scene out of context of anything would be like, especially if we don't show much of what we just showed, if there's just this scene where this like Victorian woman is like aggressively rubbing the feet of a living mannequin with what you can tell is like KY like icy cool jelly or something, and she's like rubbing her feet with this and saying like, I want to worship you, and then an alligator walks in and says to the mannequin, leaf, and she puts a wet cigarette in his mouth, and then he walks away.
Cigar. It has more leaves in it, and he really
She
likes
puts a
them.
sopping wet cigar in his mouth.
Definitely.
That sounds
And I
like a
gave her-
dream I had.
I gave her a nice
Pats her
I
on
gave
the
a
And he
nice-
pats her
nice
on the
pat
head.
Bella's just feeling so loved and appreciated right now. She's never felt this way before.
Emma wants to chastise him for being so rude to her, but instead she will ask if are we safe? Has the dragon vampire been defeated?
A
Yes.
dragon vampire? Is that what was going on?
Don't worry, I bite. Always win.
Oh,
So-
good.
We're safe.
Yes. Sailor up with mist. Don't know. How we do.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for defeating the vampire dragon. I didn't even know it was here. You did such a great job. And Emma, thank you so much for fixing my favorite toe.
Yes, I am glad to have served you.
You do good. Protect Leafstone.
Oh, I will. And eventually they'll dry out. Do you prefer them soaking wet or kind of dry, or you haven't even tried them dry? Have you even tried to smoke them?
Smoke?
Oh, it'll be a treat for you. We'll try it next time, okay? Once they dry out.
So,
I rest. I sleep.
as Stiltcutter just like rests after a pretty intense afternoon, or evening rather, it's night. That
Go
is
back
where
to
we'll
whatever
end.
you're doing.
Wait, can we end with Bella just like sitting very still and Emma just like mimicking her?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to be as still as Vela. Oh my god.
When no one engages with Bella, she just...
Emma will look and just
On that, Vela grows
Nerving
still.
note.
Emma tries to do the same.
Actually, wait. That makes sense for all three of us. I'm a fucking elk.
Yep.
I also love to just.
Permanent grin.
I
He's also like,
perfectly still, like.
So the three of them just totally still.
We're the weirdest group of people ever.
I will say that this is a delightfully
it's a friendship.
a very strange boat. The SS Don't Come a Knockin' has a second life. So, as the four of you, Vela, Emma, Stiltcutter, and the sailor, sail through the Dreadstorm, having survived a tremendous thing. Stiltcutter, you managed to wound a great thing and keep it off of your guys, and that was well done. You prevented him from even like having a moment to attack the boat or try to sink the ship or anything. That is where we'll end tonight's episode. We said it would be a short one, and we lied because things got
You
very
lied.
weird.
I knew it wouldn't. Every time you say that, it never
You
is.
know who would be the best friends?
Who? Vela and
Bella
Sarah.
and Sarah.
Yeah, they would be very good friends.
Sarah Quill just are so excited.
They're on the
Oh
same
my god!
spectrum, on the same
No, but
ends.
Sarah would love Vela because she would never want to eat her.
True.
She would never Sarah would be like, "Oh, this is such a wonderful friend, and I'll never try to kill you because you don't have the stuff inside of you that I need."
That would
The
be...
logic I had for Stiltcutter is like, oh, she's not squishy. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna eat her.
I'm not, Oh my god, that's so good.
Do you
To
know
be
the
honest,
difference
Bella-
between- I was gonna say, do you know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
I mean, I do, but what the
It
beyond
depends on when you see them, later or in a while.
Okay.
Wow.
Fair enough. so not jaw opening direction. Okay, that's fine.
What a weirdly wholesome episode. This
Right?
is actually exactly what I needed.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, this one was very strange, and I will also say though that the most I'm gonna minor peek behind the curtain. I know we're gonna try to wrap up here, but Liv, the fours that you rolled, one was the general location you'd be in.
Okay.
And you rolled Voluptua, which was 4. But the other was for Witch Mistwalker. I was worried about this because I was like, there's a lot we'll have to re-roll for. But it was going to be Witch Mistwalker might occur in this Dreadstorm. And you really rolled... The Sailor is number 4 on the list. You could not have rolled a more interesting one to be in the Voluptua area. So he was on the Voluptuan boat we had. And I was like, he's just assembled people. And there is something about the Sailor's goals. And I was like... A Dreadstorm is the only time you can do this. This is perfect. And
I just thought about how the chest has attachments and he has a peg leg and like it could be swapped out.
Yeah, we'll get to the Sailor's peg leg someday. I see that Hello Engage Roleplay Welcome. We just ended our game, but I will mention to you that we are doing something very, very strange in tonight's game. This is the 109th episode of this, so we play a lot of different systems, and for sort of the weird thing we're doing now is that I'm just having characters using different systems as I'm trying to do this. So right now, we had one person rolling basically 5e using what we call our, strictly speaking, actually, I just realized Vela shouldn't be level 0. No, we'll let Vela be 0 because she's using the Noir stuff. But one is using our 5e thing of like, we call it like the Survivor, the low level, where they're just level 0 characters built to die. One of our characters is using a Call of Cthulhu rule set, and the other character is using a one that we made up that we call the Christie system that was originally made. You're muted.
By we, he means he made up.
I mean, well, yes, but I mean, we it was tested on the channel as well. We originally made that up for a game that was all like Agatha Christie style murder mysteries, but then I used it in a one shot for sea monster characters, and that's what we had Moses randomly roll. So he's a gator face named Stiltcutter, and he had a good time.
It was fun.
So yeah, so tonight's episode was very unexpected. This, however, this was an interesting thing to be looking at because there's some stuff going on. Like, he's going to an island, and that island is very significant that he's going to. I will tease that out. So honestly, Vela, Emma, and Stiltcutter, this is going to be a thing that we will definitely cut back to. This will be a major thread.
I love this dynamic too. They're like, weirdly, they're so different, but they go so well together. And even the sailor.
Oh
I was
God.
like, I really enjoy being on his team.
Yeah, see, the sailor was a dick to the people when he was fighting the Soldier of Fortune, but that's the thing about the Mistwalkers. If you're on their side, they can actually be kind of, there's, aside from the Drifter, who just sucks. I'll also say that, I'm gonna declare this right away because of how this worked out. If you guys get to that island, I think you probably will at this point, I'm very excited that Zane will probably just be playing a random castaway. So Zane will be some very weird castaway that will make it. Could be from any place, who knows. You know,
He loves it.
It's going to be
He'll love
fantastic. So, yeah, this was really fun. Thanks so much for watching. Please go to our Discord if you want to interact with us. We do some like downtime for other games and just general chatting about all this stuff. You can go to our YouTube to see older episodes. I'm actually a little behind in posting older episodes because of reasons, but I'll try to do that this weekend, although we'll see. And then you can also go to our new wiki that Sophia has been putting together, where you can read kind of like recaps.
Sophia distracted in the chat.
Oh yeah, Sophia distracted into the chat. You can read recaps and like character info and player info and all sorts of stuff.
She goes deep.
It's very cool. We have some other games coming up. We have we don't have a dragon game Sunday, but we will the following Sunday of Here Be Dragons. On Monday, we have Third Time's the Charm, unless the storm prevents us from having it. I'm like not joking. It's plausible. Not probable, but plausible. On Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, that game will be at 7:30 Pacific. 4 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday afternoon, we will be back with more of our very fascinating Strange Lore game, which I think, I would just go catch up on that now if you can. Episodes 1 and 2 were great. Episode 3 changed everything. So check it out. It changed everything about like narrative and how I'm doing this, and it's so weird. So check it out. It's so fun. Please check that out.
Also very
Like
gay
what happened
because
tonight.
Yeah, and if you want to see these two just like I don't know, just role play all their sapphic fanfic between each other.
it just happens every time.
It's hard to yeah.
It's the dice. It's
It
The
is.
dice, and I
The
apparently
environment
yeah.
in these Dreadlands.
Yeah.
You find love in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
Is that Taylor Swift?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Find love in a
Are you not sure that's Taylor
Swift?
Swift?
It is a
It's
song,
like,
but it's
I
not
found
Taylor
love in a hopeless place, so shake it off, shake it off. Isn't that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, join us
Swift.
for that on
I think
Tuesday.
that's Rihanna.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it is.
On Wednesday,
Oh, yeah.
we have a very, very special one-stop. Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. If you're a fan of Dan, we will have some guest stars, but it's kind of the Dan show. We are playing Lost Lore Academia Study Abroad, a one-shot about Connor in Scotland. Might be mildly impactful. So come check that out on Wednesday at 7:30. And then a week from tonight, we'll be back with more Blood from a Stone. 7:30 p.m., so 1 week from tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm sure we should say thank you to a lot of people in chat. I don't know that tonight anyone was, thanks for Engaged Roleplay for doing this. I will sort of scroll back up. I don't know anybody tonight was keeping track of it because we've been busy and doing a lot of stuff, but just generally thanks everyone.
Here for it.
We also do have a couple new followers, Comics and the Cross, and It's the Rocketeer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
following. That is so kind of
And
you.
all of our regulars, of course, thank you so much for
Thanks, thanks
being on my
always for
side
watching
when
this.
Philip is picking on me.
I'm never.
Thank you. And also Blood and Dagger. And who was it?
Blood and Dagger.
Who else? Brenninger.
Book and Dagger, you mean? But
No thanks to you guys
Wow.
for the whole dread
It's
clock.
fine. We got the
debacle.
clock fixed out. We love that you're engaged and care about the mechanics of our very.
I
strict,
don't, not
complicated
anymore.
game.
Book and Dagger's going to change his name to Blood and Dagger since you said that.
Blood and Dagger. is a good one.
Great. So, thank you all. Would any of you like to plug any channels or stuff that you do? You
I
don't have
stream,
to?
but not frequently at all
Sure.
on my channel. But a follow would be appreciated.
There
Sure.
you go.
We will get back to it. I'm not going to say when because I will say next week, and I don't know if that's going to happen because I said it last week, and then I had to work on a costume for a certain event.
It's a busy time. It's a busy time.
It's a busy time. I also was thinking I would start actually getting my Twitch stream together, but I have things that now I have to prepare and do self tapes for. But I do go live on TikTok periodically, so follow me there. Eventually I will be live on Twitch to, I don't know, play with my stupid little Sims who also are vampires right now. Like I got the vampire extension, so I've been having
You can have vampire Sims?
You can have vampire Sims and you can have werewolf Sims.
I'm afraid of starting the Sims because I feel like I won't exist in this world.
The vampire ones are fun, and you can you can even make your vampires influence other people to be flirty and then seduce them. And I'm just like, oh no.
Liv, I get that enough on this channel with you.
Right? I felt like something was going on.
There's always something going on.
Engage roleplay. Thank you so much for the follow.
They're about to start it up again.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. This has been delightful. Moses, you want to plug any stuff or just
Nothing for today.
nothing for today? Perfect. All right. Thank you all. You're all wonderful. This game is wild. I really thought this would be a short one, and instead we fleshed out an old character who didn't have a character sheet, built an all new character who's now a Hall of Famer, and we're gonna prepare for stuff. So this was delightful. Until next time, my friends. Have a dreadful night. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.